Hello there, YouTube. This is going to be a repair on my utility knife. This rivet is coming out. You see it don't even stick all the way through there. I've tried mashing it, squeezing into the vice grips. You have your dimple here, which locks in here. We are going to repair this and put a new pin in here. So I'm showing what it looks like before. It's either that or throw it away. It doesn't want to stay locked. So, stay tuned and we'll show you how I repaired this. Okay. This side is smaller. This is the side that had the bigger head. I used my Dremel, the little ball stone. Say rotary tool, not brand names. Carefully ground that. I didn't want to make this metal thinner. What a messy, grungy job. Just something like this and this filthy already. I started prying it out. Small screwdriver, real small screwdriver. Started prying on it, just to slowly get it lifted off here. Have to pause here and come back to it. Maybe, maybe not. You get the idea. Get this piece off here. Okay, we got that piece off of there. If you look at this, I think I might have went off telemacro. I think the pin's the same size. It was just so big on the other side I'd mashed it with a hammer so much. This looks about the same size to me. Okay, next to get this out of here. Hopefully it'll just drive right out. We'll be back. Stay tuned. Okay, here's the pin. We got it out of there. We were lucky. We're just using a little homemade punch made out of this little 1/8" rod that I have. Kind of like my sewing needle project. This was one that was a reject, so turning into a tool. If I can't find anything this size, I will make a pin out of this. This is soft steel. I could use brass, like a piece of my brazing rod, but that's not very solid stuff. I want this mashed down when I'm done, and I want something that's not going to crack and crumble. So I may have to set up my grinder and actually make a piece of pin. Get this to focus. Make a piece of pin, which is going to be a lot longer than that one, because it's got to stick out. I'm going to stick it out over a 1/16 of an inch on either side with this piece on here. So I'm going to add at least a 1/16 of an inch to match it over. They make a punch that's not flat on the end. It's like domed. You can actually, if you have a little drip punch, you can take one of these stones if you're careful, and you can carve into the end of the punch. Get my idea. So it's opposite of this. It's not flat and it's not round. So it's domed in. You can actually carve into a little small drip punch. You can make that little dome to make your rivet. I'm not going to be that particular. I'm just going to mash down with a little ball peen hammer. But back on to making a pin for it. Okay, basically how we did this. We got this nice little stone here, mini stuff to do this. We just kept grinding it down till it fit. This whole thing's tapered in here. Plenty extra, we're going to mash it over. So you get the idea. I had it tapered on one side. Just twirl it. I did measure it. I got a cheap pair of these. I did measure it. It's a little bit smaller, but I did measure what pin was in there. But if you twirl this like this, you always get your end first. Get the size you want on the end, and then leave it alone. When I get the end I want, I'll put like Sharpie marker where I've already ground, so I'll stay away from it. But you get the idea. You could do this on a beggar grindstone if you were careful, if it was a good stone. You always want to twirl it. You're spinning it. That's what keeps it round, so you don't get flat sides. Okay, off to cutting this off and making my little rivet. Okay, this is pretty basic. I just kept hammering with the ball peen hammer. This side kind of mushed over a little more because the pin was a little tapered where it came through there, because this hole was smaller, so I tapered it a little bit. It's kind of ugly as long as it holds, but you just go from side to side, have it on a flat surface. You get your pin in there so it don't move, and just take turns just mashing this over. It's really soft metal I'm using. You get the idea. I'll make a rivet. Pretty nice and tight. I put this all together first because of this dimple. With a dimple arc, I put this all together and held this as tight as I could in my hands before I started mashing the pin. So I knew when I opened it, it should work the way it's supposed to. And I straightened this with my needle nose pliers. This was all bent warped, this piece. Made sure it all fit nice and smooth. It was bent out where the dimple was here. I had to bend it in so it would grab better. Cheap, quick repair. I know it's cheap. And then you can go buy one for $5, but I've had this for, I know I've had it over 3 years. I think I've had it about 4 years. So why throw it away if you can fix it? Money's money. That's $5 I could spend on something else, plus running to the store to buy one. So this side's a little uglier. This I made the pin a little bit smaller when it come through, because this hole was smaller and it felt tapered inside of here when it went through. But it doesn't matter what it looks like, as long as it works. But thanks for watching that small repair I made there. It does show how to make little metal rivets. Thanks for watching.